Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Aphrodite. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, okay? So I was supposed to get this message out yesterday, but I'm here now, better late than never. So I told you guys I wouldn't go live, but I would answer any questions that I felt were sent to me, okay? And so this first one today, we are going to be talking about alopecia. So if you or someone you know has alopecia, okay, this would be a great video for you to watch. However, if you don't, still, you may find something beneficial from this video, okay? So now I do want to say though that it was brought to my attention that this was this person seeking this, and this doesn't have to be the only person because of course a lot of people suffer from alopecia, okay? However, I did receive word that this is someone who participated in Magic against me, okay? Now it wasn't my first thought to assume you know, the worst, but obviously I like to get clarification anytime I have a dream, so I like to get clarification from my guides, etc. Now, one thing that I found funny, not funny, but I was watching a fireman show, okay? A show about firefighters, okay? And so one of the quotes from one of the episodes that he says is, we don't get to choose who we help. We have to help everyone, even if they don't deserve it. And it's kind of interesting because when you are placed in a certain position, that is true. Choice is an illusion. Choice is an illusion, and I feel like a lot of us can understand that, okay? Even in our regular lives, daily choices that we make, okay? Choice is literally an illusion. So, and I was not laughing, but I kind of find it humorous, you know, that my ancestors, you know, they always say, yeah, you know, it's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. But they know me. They know me. And it's like when I have certain information, I cannot withhold information, especially if it's only because of a rotten apple, okay? One rotten apple, a couple rotten apples. Like if I have anything beneficial to share, typically I'm going to share it, like, because it doesn't benefit me in any way to hold on to that information for myself. And it's kind of also though, it's like I'm also it's like also in the same breath giving, that's so funny, okay? Sorry, just saw a notification, but in the same breath, it's like I give gratitude to these people, right? Gratitude to people who were doing things against me, gratitude to people who may not even know why they're doing certain things. But, and the reason why I say that is because it only propelled me into my gifts further. It's a prime example of, you know, your enemies being made into your footstools, okay, or your stepping stones, whatever you want to call it. And so yes, I give gratitude because I wouldn't even be here delivering this message if it were not for them, okay? And you know, many times we hear the or I don't know if you guys have heard, but I know, like me personally, you know, especially in the spiritual community, you hear, you know, you chose your mission before you even came here on earth. And or you signed up for this assignment before you came on earth. And I would just like to say, because I feel like if, you know, my ancestors would have laid it out for me, if this was all told to me that, you know, people are going to do you wrong, but you're still going to have to help them, I'm sure and I am certain that I would have rejected the assignment. Okay, I would have rejected it, and I'm not going to lie, okay? So it's like, for me though, it's kind of interesting because me, it's a blessing and a curse, because as much as you know, obviously it's like if someone's doing something towards you, you're gonna get upset. You're not going to want to help these people. But in the same breath, knowing me, you know, I've always been that person, like I said, I've always been at war within myself, right? Very kind of like I kind of contradict myself in a way, in a, not necessarily in a negative way, but just in a way to where it's like, you know, your two sides are literally battling. Because I know that if I, you know, choose to kind of, it's like, yes, it may be within my right to withhold something from someone, right? It's like you can't force me to help anybody. But at the same time, it's like I have a really big heart. That's why I say, like, in my dreams, I get caught up a lot. Like my ancestors, like, and they would tell me, like, you're too sweet. Like, you're too nice. Like, it gets to the dream, and it's like, if this doesn't seem like an immediate threat, I'm not going to do anything to the person. You know what I mean? It's just like a thing where sometimes I can be too sweet, okay? So for me, it's like as much as I say, you know, as, and it's not even, let's say harsh, okay, because I wouldn't say cruel, but and I wouldn't even necessarily say harsh, because anything I dish out is well deserved, okay, it's well deserved, and it was not unprovoked. Here's the thing, okay, so anything that I, any action that I take, operating in my darker side, whether it is permitted or not, then there's the other side of me that's going to feel bad about it later. Even though this person deserved it, okay? There's a part of me that would feel bad, okay? So there's always that part of me where it's like, oh, the good, moral, and conscious one. And then there's the other one that wants to be fucking absolutely ruthless. And like I said, it'd be well deserved. So if it's not an immediate threat, typically I'm not someone who is, I'm not gonna be someone who's just like, yeah, like... Mind you, if I catch you on the street, it's a different story. But it's like things of this nature. I really don't know how to explain it to you guys. Just like things of this nature, though. It's just I operate differently, okay? So, and I was like, okay, because literally, like, my ancestors were telling me, like, as we were going through, the dream, etc., and come to the realization that this person did magic. I'm sitting there and I'm like, well... I'm like, okay, but I mean, there's so many other people suffering from the same thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, I already knew what my decision was going to be, which was going to be to share the video, And it's like, thank you for the content. So, thank you to my haters, my enemies. Yeah. Now, one thing though, right? Because my ancestors know, my spirit guides know, when you put me into position, I'm going to fulfill that role to the fullest, okay? To the fullest. As someone who teaches lessons, it's like anytime there is a lesson to be taught, I'm going to teach it. And they know I have a very smart mouth, okay? My mouth has always been the number one thing to get me into trouble, okay? So, they know I'm gonna talk my shit. Like, I'm not gonna just do this without talking my shit, but in all good faith and making sure that it is a teaching moment in doing so. So before I continue, quick motherfucking PSA. I've heard many people try to excuse the behavior of others due to their past or current emotional trauma and hardship, and to that I have to say, cry me a river. Everyone has suffered in their lives in one form or another, and your pain does not excuse or permit you to inflict it on others nor steal from them. If you go out and scalp a human person, and I know this sounds a bit extreme, but if you go out and scalp a human person right now who then dies, and in turn you are brought before a judge in the court of law where your defense is a sob story that you've either never had hair or all your hair fell out and you just wanted to know what it felt like to have hair, or wanted them to feel what you feel, and in a fit of jealous rage you decided, I'll just go scalp it from someone else. Do you think you are going to get off based on sympathy? No, because you've just confessed a premeditated murder. And the fact of the matter is, no one cares about the emotional turmoil that drove you to act on the impulses of your tormented mind, just the fact that you did it. And on the scales of justice, your crocodile tears does not outweigh the value of a human life. If you are lucky, air quote, they might stick you in the psych ward. Stop excusing and enabling heinous behavior. Empathy and sympathy are two very different things, and the mass majority of enablers do so because they fail to hold their own selves accountable. If you're a grown adult, then you are responsible for your own actions, and if you don't have the capacity to comprehend that, then the only person you have to blame is yourself. And I'm sorry the first person you had to hear the truth from was me. Okay, so now that we're back from my little PSA, okay? We're gonna get straight into this video. I really don't think this video needs to be long, and I know I say that all the time, but I'm so serious. This one doesn't need to be long, okay? So bear with me, stick with me, and also what I want to say, if you are someone who is, you know what I'm saying, like I know people, a lot of people, and this is something that I don't understand, like people who will be so against like holistic health. I remember people were like laughing because I'm like, yes, I would listen to Dr. Sebi. Like, I don't understand. Anyways, let me not get into that, but if you're someone who you may be skeptical of holistic health, the one thing I want to say is your chances of dying from holistic healing versus, experimental drugs, etc. are far less likely. Okay, so, it's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna hurt to, try something new, try something out of the norm. All right, so I do have some things that could be either for someone watching this could be relevant. I'm not completely sure yet why, but I'm just going to read out some things of energy that I was picking up that could be relevant for you or someone you know. It doesn't have to mean that you have alopecia. It could be someone like, whoo. If you're someone who you yourself does not have alopecia, then maybe there is like the person who was doing something toward you. Because remember I kept saying that someone was like either obsessed with your hair or something. So maybe this person is someone who was doing magic towards you, okay? Someone who may suffer from alopecia or hair loss, something, okay? Something to do with hair, okay? Anyways, so either you or this person, this also could be, like I said, the person I'm talking to could be the person suffering from this, okay? So I was picking up on heavy Aquarius energy. You do not have to be an Aquarius. You could just simply be someone who is very innovative, okay? Innovative, someone who could be like into technology, inventing new things, new ideas, okay? So also innovative when it comes to fashion, kind of like dress up or cosplay. You may wear colorful wigs or wigs in general, possibly a bob. Very like loud makeup. Like when I say loud makeup, kind of like y'all know what loud makeup is, okay? It's kind of, or just like very like a bold, like a really bold, like colorful lip. Just like I said, loud makeup, okay? So also you may be someone who likes to wear like really dark, like square shades that covers like your whole face, okay? Your eyes, okay? Like your whole entire eye. So majority of your face might be covered with the use of these shades. So you may have ADHD and trouble with cleaning or decluttering, but may have a designated area that's always clean, okay? That's self-explanatory. I don't need to go into detail, okay? So you may also experience fatigue. You may or may not be under the age of 18, raised by a single mother, or you are a single mother. I was picking up on Trinidadian or Brazilian or Afro-Latina, okay? Portuguese speaker. Someone could be a dog breeder and possibly working on creating your own dog food. You could have already or are working on creating something with the use of light technology or water. Also, something about, now I don't know if someone's doing something with your tooth, but I was specifically, someone could be a dentist, okay? Or something about teeth implants, okay? Like individual teeth implants is what I was seeing. And the last thing, you may be hypersensitive to the point where you create thoughts and problems that aren't really there, okay? Possibly a schizophrenic. Now, I have a whole, I'm not going to talk about that today, but I do have something that I want to say about that eventually. But today we're going to focus on one thing at a time, okay? So let's get straight into it now that I've gotten that out of the way. And I'm sorry, I just needed something like fiddle with today, so... So jumping right in, okay, so alopecia, okay? Alopecia is an autoimmune disease that occurs when the immune system attacks hair follicles triggered by environmental factors like stress, injury, illness, or genetics. Now, they say there is no cure, okay, but all triggers are curable or able to be regulated. And so the reason why I'm saying is like either someone is lying or someone is very, very lazy, okay? And typically, at least from my own observation, it's like when we're looking at, you know, disease, sickness, viruses, etc. Not only in the name, but typically all diseases will lead you right back to the cure. Usually the cure is literally in the explanation of the disease. So literally like, because in reality, every point has another point that is connected to it, right? It's like all you have to do is follow the line, follow the points, because, you know, to every negative, there is a positive. So to every disease, there is a cure, because this is literally nature, okay? We are a part of nature, not just human nature, but just nature in general, right? So all of these things, because it says that it is triggered by environmental factors like stress, injury, illness, or genetics, right? And all these things can be either cured or regulated, okay? So you may not be able to change your genetics, but you can strengthen them, okay? Because all things are created with the potential to evolve. So your immune system protects from virus and disease. So when you translate autoimmune disease, okay, it literally translates to either self-exemption or exemption from self. And we're going to get into like why that, you know, matters, but self-exemption or exemption from self, okay? Which basically like literally like your immune system is what protects you from virus, right? Your immune system is what builds up the ability to fight off viruses, sickness, etc. Okay, so I mean, okay, anyways. We don't need to go into detail. I think everyone like knows. I don't need to like try to like, because if I try to explain it, I'm gonna try to explain it like to the nitty gritty, and I don't need to do that. Okay, so when you translate autoimmune disease, you translate it to exemption from self or self-exemption, okay? So it is not simply a disease that's directly attacking your hair follicles. Your hair follicles or the loss of your hair follicles are a product of your immune system attacking itself, okay? And this is from my observation. Where I'm like, I don't know, it just seems so, some things just seem so obvious to me. Like, This is why I don't be understanding. I'm like, how is there no cure? Like, this is why I feel like it's just laziness is what it is. Okay, either laziness or lying. One of them or both. It's one or both. So keep in mind, one of the triggers for alopecia is stress, which is regulated by your nervous system. So typically the body signals to the brain when it is under attack, but in the case where someone has a poorly regulated nervous system, the brain has the power to send false signals, which will cause the body to begin fighting off. Sorry. Okay, hold on. And these are all like notes that I wrote, okay? So none of this is like, these are all my own observations. Hold on. Okay, so typically the body signals to the brain when it is under attack, but in the case where someone has a poorly regulated nervous system, the brain has the power to send false signals, which will cause the body to begin fighting off disease that isn't actually present and killing perfectly healthy bacteria with the overproduction of white blood cells, blocking production of red blood cells, okay? So, and dysfunction between these two pathways can contribute to psychiatric disorders such as anxiety, clinical depression, bipolar disorder, dementia, ADHD, schizophrenia, OCD, PTSD, etc., as well as immune-mediated diseases, okay? One thing I want to say about OCD, right, is because, and look, I'm not trying to diagnose anyone, so even with the whole schizophrenia thing, okay, do not take that if it does not belong to you, okay? Do not take that if it doesn't belong to you. I'm just saying it was something like, so maybe you are someone who you already know, or maybe you someone you have been like questioning it, or you know what I'm saying? But don't go diagnosing yourself with things, okay? So, and anyways, never mind. But one thing I want to say about OCD, right? Because a lot of people have the perception that OCD is someone who is extremely clean all the time, but sometimes it could be quite the opposite. You could be someone who has a lot of clutter, but it's like in the clutter, you know where everything is, if that makes sense. So maybe sometimes you have periods where, and this is because OCD is due to stress, okay? So depending on, I don't even know, like, and I don't want to try to explain anything that I didn't actually think about before coming here, but this is kind of what's coming to me right now. So OCD, right, which is stress-induced disorder, okay? A stress-induced disorder. So it's like you can either be someone who, it's like you're either really clean, but you're still like stressed out, so you overstress about the cleanliness, or you're someone where you're so stressed out that you can't clean, okay? But everything is kind of like in a particular place spot. So it's kind of like organized chaos still. Like that's kind of, I don't know how to better to explain it to you, but OCD does not necessarily mean that you are someone who is constantly clean, right? You can go through periods of maybe there are times where you are constantly clean, or maybe there are particular things that you are particular about the way that certain things are cleaned and in the order of, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm not gonna try to explain that too much right now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now after that, the one thing that I wanted to talk about was using the example of the COVID lockdown, okay? Because we just talked about how dysfunction between the pathways also sometimes, you know, your brain signaling to your body rather than your body signaling to your brain that it is sick or under attack, okay? So take into consideration the COVID lockdown, okay? And I was completely like against the lockdown because it's like, actually I'll explain. Okay, I already wrote it down here, right? So basically, the body does not fight sickness by fearing sickness. It fights sickness by learning to overcome it, okay? So, and this is when we get into like bio weapons, okay? Because if you are someone who now you're staying in the house, you know what I'm saying? You're staying in the house, you're scared. One, that's going to lower, right? Where I said that lowers your immune system, your immunity system, your immune system, right? It makes it more vulnerable, okay? Fear makes it more vulnerable because like we said, the immune system is connected to the nervous system. So, yes. So this basically, it's like COVID, like you could then call COVID a bioweapon, right? If you can get people to fear, create a state of fear and chaos, and yes, like say the virus is present, it makes it easier to spread. However, fear allows defenses to be breached and you are the threat in your own body, okay? And that's what we call a bioweapon. So yes, because even though like, and I think it did come out, I've been watching like a lot of debates and shit, you guys. And it's so funny because now it's been appearing in my dream, but also then I ran into somebody like at the store yesterday, and I was like, okay, so it's not just anyways, my guides are taking me through a journey right now that, you know, I don't know what's coming next for us, you guys, as far as like my channel. I don't really know, and it's kind of cool. Like, I have no idea. Like, I'm kind of just like it's literally like a journey into the unknown, because I don't really know what direction we're going in. But I'm excited for it regardless of whatever it happens to be. So, anyways, yes. So, why was I talking about fucking debates and things? Oh, because I was gonna say, I think it did come out that yes, the virus did spread from a lab. Okay, so yeah, anyways, it came out proven to me that it was spread from a lab. So with that being said, it's like, even though, you know, it was man-made, it still can spread naturally. You understand what I'm saying? So bioweapon. But anyways, so the nervous system has layers of immune surveillance, including, ooh, I forgot to look up a word, how to say it. Hold on, guys. So the nervous system has layers of immune surveillance, including microglia in the parenchyma. Yeah, I hope I said that right. Anyways, I'm so sorry if I butchered it. And immune cells in the meninges and you guys, I'm sorry. And choroid plexus, okay? So choroid plexus. The choroid plexus, and you guys may remember that we talked about this in my damn, what did I even call it? I don't remember, but if you know, you know. Okay, so the choroid plexus is responsible for producing 60 to 75% of the brain's cerebral spinal fluid, and acts as a barrier between the blood and cerebral spinal fluid, which bathes the brain and spinal cord. Okay, so the choroid plexus provides nutrients to the brain, acts as a sink for metabolic waste from the central nervous system, modulates inflammation, cognition, circadian rhythm, and the gut-brain axis. Okay, the gut-brain axis. Okay. So the choroid plexus cerebral spinal fluid system is vital for nervous system development due to fluid pressure and cerebral spinal fluid signaling factors. So my question to you guys, okay, everyone knows this. What is the number one thing that practically everyone knows affects the growth of hair? Any guesses? Sorry, I'm having too much fun. Okay? So, blood circulation. Okay, blood circulation. And your hair grows out of your skin, which is one of the organs important to the proper functioning of the immune system. I remember the first time someone told me that skin is an organ, and I was like, bro, oh my God. That's kind of nasty. Like, when we be naked, we really be out here, like, naked. Like, literal organisms. I was thinking of amoebas. We just fucking walking amoebas. Amoebas are either free living in damp environments or parasitic. And I was like, oh my gosh. Are we amoebas, bro? I mean, I know we're not single celled, but I was like, I mean, we're not too much different from a little amoeba if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can be free living, or we can be parasitic to the earth. Anyhow, anyways, let me continue on. Okay, so yes, I was just like, oh my gosh, like we really be out here just fucking just naked organisms. Just okay. Like when you think about it, like in a scientific way, like it sounds like a lot wilder than just, you know what I mean? Like obviously we're used to it and it's normal, but be licking people's skin, licking organs out here. Okay. I mean, well, okay, anyways, anywho. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so anyways, blood circulation, okay? So your hair grows out of your skin, which is one of the organs important to the proper functioning of the immune system, okay? It is your largest organ in the human body and protects the body from bacteria, chemicals, heat, light, injury, and infection. So imagine what happens to the skin when your immune system is in attack mode, okay? So your defenses are so busy fighting one another that they can't defend against any real threat, so it continues to weaken, which is why in severe cases, people can't even go outside without risk of it affecting their health. So now, since we were talking about blood, etc. So the circulatory system acts as a primary transportation network for the immune system, carrying white blood cells through the body to reach infection and fight pathogens. So things that it's responsible for: transporting white blood cells, okay, fighting infection, working with the lymphatic system, responding to antigens. The spleen also houses immune cells while filtering blood and removing old or damaged red blood cells, okay? And it also responds to inflammation and produces antibodies. Now, that is the explanation, okay? So hopefully you guys understand why I'm saying that this is something that is literally just, it's like if you rebuild your immune system, then it kind of cancels out anything else. Do you understand what I'm saying? You see how everything is tied into the immune system. So it's like to say that there is no cure is like, I feel like that's very lazy. Like, it has to be. It's either very lazy or just like blatantly lying to people's faces, okay? Blatantly lying. So anyways, this is my holistic advice for you guys. Take it or leave it, okay? But like I said, it ain't gonna kill you. So it's literally not gonna kill you. All right, so first thing, regulating the nervous system, okay? Through regular meditation and breath work, okay? I was supposed to write something. Oh yes, okay. For severe cases, and this is for not just alopecia, but in severe cases where people have like, let's say, an autoimmune disease to the point where you literally, like, to go outside is like, that's like a death wish. So in severe cases, okay, regulating indoor environments using plant therapy to purify the air and allow calming effect, okay, to purify the air naturally. Temperature regulation, but also allowing natural light inside. So, and if this is possible, okay, so if you are somewhere where you can have like a lot of windows, okay, just like a lot of natural light, not artificial light. Clean your space and declutter, okay, because clutter equals stress. So like I'm saying, it's like, even though you think you're like, I'm fucking thriving in this mess, no you're not. I bet if you tried to clean it, you'd feel a lot better. You clean it and you're just like, wow, you're breathing different, okay? And remember, junkie came out in one of my other videos. I'm thinking like junkie as in maybe someone has a lot of junk. I'm telling you, just throw that shit away, because junk literally means like it's useless. It's useless. Throw it in trash. just start throwing things away. Just throw it away, and it'll be a lot less stressful. Because maybe you're looking at it, you're like, like this is a lot of stuff. That's because it's trash, Bookie. Just go ahead and throw that shit in the trash. Okay. So anyways. Okay, yes, so sorry. Okay, also music frequencies, okay, specifically for the root chakra, solar plexus, and heart chakra. Now this one seems quite obvious, but your diet, okay, so just make sure you're eating a healthy and balanced diet, but also for those groups that I just called out, yes, specifically. So yes, so eat a balanced diet from all food groups, especially your fruits and veggies, okay? Use the color wheel, okay? The color wheel to get all necessary nutrients and vitamins, okay? So specific foods that you may want to use, and then I'll go into like the different groups, but okay, so okay, garlic, broccoli, citrus fruits, almonds, green tea, and blueberries, okay? Also red meat, red onions. You can use this as like a spa water, okay? Making spa water with red onions. I know it may sound gross, but you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Now don't go be breathing your dragon breath all over people, but you know what I'm saying? in the privacy of your home, you know, brush your teeth, get you some gum, you know what I'm saying, and drink your little red onion water, okay? Also tomatoes, cherries, strawberry, raspberries, cranberries, red apple, cayenne, bell peppers, red beans, kidney beans, okay? And then also mangoes, bananas, lemon, ginger, turmeric, squash, carrots, corn, potatoes, pineapple. Honestly, y'all don't even need me to read this out, but I'm gonna do it because I wrote it down. So celery, spinach, kale, collard greens. Okay, collard greens promotes hemoglobin production and is very rich in iron. Okay, so get that blood right. And fresh collards, don't you go get them damn collard greens now. Okay, papaya, yogurt, kiwi, asparagus, avocado. Also, if it's not already obvious, okay, because when dealing with the skin, okay, stop smoking them cancer sticks, them cigarettes, all right, them cigarettes. And also avoid alcohol, okay, because alcohol does lower your immune system. And then some herbs that may be good, okay, oregano, cinnamon, clove, and rosemary. Rosemary, that's a bad bitch. Okay. But anyways, well, I think that's all I have for you guys. I hope it came out well. It probably really did come out just fine. Probably came out just fine. And I think what it is the more that I talk about it, and the more that I talk about, oh shit, like this was probably a shit show. It probably wasn't a shit show, but it's like the more that I talk about it, the more it seemingly seems like one, because now I am so hyper focused on everything that could have possibly went wrong that may not have even gone wrong. So it's literally just like, yeah. But anyways, I think that's all I have for you guys. I will be back. If you guys have more questions, keep asking your questions, okay? Because if you ask, I answer. But yeah, I hope to answer more of them because yeah, it's kind of fun. So, yes. I've just been sitting here trying to figure out if I have anything else to say, and I don't think I do. I think I've said all that I could. I think I've ran the shit into the ground. I think I have really, you know what I'm saying? There's no more horse left to beat. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune out. I hope you guys got something from this message. I hope that you found it beneficial for you, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye.